let's head down to the field where Lamar Jackson is waiting, the Heisman Trophy winner, Maxwell Award, two-time ACC Player of the Year. Awfully decorated, and how about 119 touchdowns?
Is that it?
He accounted for in 3 seasons at Louisville. Lamar, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
How'd your day go? What were you looking to get out of it, and what do you take away from this?
I felt I did pretty good today. Missed a lot of passes I think I wanted back, but sometimes you can't be perfect.
Lamar, a lot of people were fascinated by your athleticism. Why did you elect not to run the 40 today?
I decided to run on pro day. I don't want to show it out here. They've been talking about receiving and stuff like that, so I didn't feel I should do it.
And thinking about the wide receiver thing, how do you feel about when people propose that to you? Do you feel like that's disrespectful to what you've been able to accomplish as a quarterback in college?
Absolutely. It's a lot of quarterbacks who was able to do have my ability, make people miss, but they never labeled them as a wide receiver. So I feel I should have a chance at quarterback.
When you said the wide receiver thing, is that specifically why you didn't run the 40? Were you planning on running it before they came to you to request that the teams had requested you work out as a wide receiver?
At first I was going to run, as a quarterback, but they were saying wide receiver, so I had to let them know, I'm just going to throw today.
What did that come up in any of the interviews?
No, sir, it didn't.
Not at all.
No.
What were those like? What kind of things were they asking you about the quarterback position in those interviews, if you can share?
Well, in the quarterback interview room, they were just trying to see what I knew. Why would I do certain plays? They were showing me a lot of film work on myself and just asking me what I thought about it and stuff like that.
So leading up into the combine, what were some of the things that you were working on at quarterback? What, footwork, mechanics, IQ stuff? What have you been working on since we last saw you at Louisville?
Mostly footwork and mechanics, and my accuracy. I've been doing that a lot, so yeah.
What specifically were you working on footwork? And what were you told that you needed to fix?
My narrow stance, trying to keep a wider base on my drops and in my stance.
So you have a few weeks before you get back to your pro day.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next step? What are the things that you want to take from this event to then work on so you can be at your best during your pro day later in the month?
Keeping my foot on the ground, and putting great balls in my receiver's hands.
You said you would like to have some throws back when you first joined us there.
Yeah.
As we were watching you, one of the things that everybody, all the scouts had been mentioning was the inside routes and just how much better those routes looked. Did they ask you about that? Can you speak to that? And do you feel like you're getting better on those outside routes?
I feel I am. I was seeing my guys, in pretty good positions as we went along today, so I think that was pretty good today.
Lamar, when we go back and we look at you at Louisville, what would you say the strengths of your game? What are the things that you do really, really well as a quarterback?
I feel placing the ball very well with my receivers, knowing my receivers, reading defense very well. Yes, sir.
One of the things when I watch tape that I noticed with you, we know how electric you are as a runner.
Yes, sir.
But you got to get down. And I wondered if teams, you run past everyone, but you're not a slider. You're not afraid to take on contact and get the most yards you can for your team. Did teams talk to you about sliding and getting down and avoiding that contact in the physical NFL?
Yeah, they were telling me, these guys are a lot bigger, physical, and, I got to protect myself. They would like to have me last 16 games instead of 10 games and end up injuring myself, so yeah.
Do you feel, you always hear the term avoid contact, especially like Russell Wilson, avoid contact. Do you know how to avoid contact? Is that when you see someone in your periphery, can you feel them coming? How do you get out of the way of that kind of contact?
Well, I feel them guys coming, and I know where I left them at. If I make a move on someone and looking at my next defender, I kind of feel like, I have a feeling for them. So that's why I think I avoid the contact very well.
Lamar, you had the opportunity to play under a guy who's really known and respected in NFL circles for developing quarterbacks in Bobby Petrino. Each year your completion rate improved. What were the things that you were able to learn under Bobby Petrino that are going to give you an opportunity to be a successful NFL quarterback?
Keeping my poise, not having narrow base. He always talked to me about that too. And bringing my hand down the middle when I throw the ball, finishing in my releases.
We love making comparisons. I want to figure out Lamar Jackson is the next fill in the blank. Give us an idea of who you enjoyed watching. Did you pattern your game after anybody? And who do you think you maybe resemble that's played either now, currently, or before in the NFL?
I love Michael Vick. That's my favorite player all the time. And I grew up watching Cam Newton. I watched a lot of Drew Brees and guys like that. Tom Brady. Yeah.
It's a pretty good list. List of some successful guys.
Well, and Vic
pattern your game off somebody.
Vic speaks highly of you as well. I know that you've got a relationship with Mike. Can you talk about that for a second?
Actually, you know, I have to get closer with him. You know, he be calling me and stuff like that, but we be on different pages, you know, different schedules and stuff like that. So I got to reach out to him after I'm done with this.
It would really be great for you to reach out to him because he can probably help you in just terms of making the transition, understanding how guys want to see you play at the next level and those things. It's always great to have someone who has been able to go through it to help you. I want to ask you this. If I had to pick one game out of your collegiate career that really defines who Lamar Jackson is, if this is a resume and I'm selling you to an NFL team, what is the one game that I should show NFL guys, hey, this is what Lamar Jackson is, this is what he could be as a pro?
You know, just because he was a great player, you know, coming out of college, you know, he was a rookie this year, did a phenomenal job. Deshaun Watson when we played Clemson 2016. I felt we was going at it that game. Yes, sir.
That was a great game, and I thought it was defining for both of you guys. You got off to a bad start,
yes, sir,
and then you brought your team all the way back. Deshaun, you know, he wasn't having a great game, and then he made that same transition and come back in the fourth quarter. So I thought that's a great game for you to mention.
Yes, sir.
Did any of the teams and the coaches in the interviews, Lamar, talk to you about the kind of offense that you would prefer to run? What kind of offense you think you would thrive in, or did they talk to you about maybe the different styles of offense that they prefer to run and how you might fit into those?
Well, you know, Coach Petrino had the Earhart offense, so I feel I can get in any offense and learn the system very well. I just need to, you know, get the playbook and just do a lot of film on it. I fit anywhere.
And thinking about that, there's been a lot of conversation about the offense and will you be able to kind of transition to an NFL offense. But now as I'm seeing teams run RPOs and some of the other stuff, did you guys do a lot of RPOs at Louisville? What kind of offense did you really run at Louisville?
Well, we ran an air raid offense. You know, we'll throw the ball, we'll get a shotgun, we'll get under center. We ran it all.
All right, last thing. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you off, Lamar. Last thing, though, since you didn't run the 40, but you were going to run it, you probably had a time in your head. What would you have run? Would you have been the number 1 40 today? Would you have beaten a 4.38 today?
I probably would have matched it. I think I'd have run a 4.3 though.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There we go. We'll take that.
Can you still go run?
Come on.
We just want to see it. I mean, we know you.
There's a QB 17 number down there. Just go throw that QB 17 on. Let's see you line
We're
up.
dying to see it.
Congratulations on all the success,
Thank
Lamar.
you.
We look forward to the pro day and walking through this whole process with you down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there he goes, Lamar Jackson.